Since my family has gotten into, oh man, I look terrible with my hair a lot. Um, this whole thing of giving my stuff away. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I probably told you a minute about myself on and off, like in brackets and whatnot. Nothing quite in one whole piece. So let me see if I can kind of put this in a nutshell. My family arrived from Cuba around the 70s and immediately went to Indianapolis. Um, just one of those things for Indiana, actually. And I would come back to Florida, but usually we're living up in Indiana. It's very cold, and it nearly killed me when I was born. So up in Indiana, I think, or up in the north, because a lot of times they did. From what I understand, they went to New York a lot and went to a bunch of other places. So yeah, and they went from there to they would come back here and end up in the beaches in Miami and whatnot. It's constant, like you just go up there, go up north and come back down, go up north and come back down. It was constant, and they ended up eventually. They got themselves a nice couple cash. My father was an electrician at the time, and I would always play with his blue putty. He swore that I was born to drive because I would sit there and grab the steering wheel, and then I would be playing with his electrical putty in the front seat. Yeah, he was really good with electronics. He'd always tell me stories whenever he would work at the phone company. That whenever they were working on the phone lines, they would sit there and they would be listening in to conversations, and he thought it was funny, and he thought it was kind of rude, like he didn't like it. Yeah, he'd listen into those conversations all the time. Mom's pretty much adult, and then she is an adult, but she's not really an adult. Mom's got a sixth grade education. Just the way things were back in the day, from where they're from, and she could do some stuff. She was pretty smart, but she could never really help me with my work or any of that. So by the time I could walk, I was out of the house. I was immediately like up in the trees, and I was up studying animals. I was very active, and they were always busy. Whenever I wasn't like out there, horsing around with wildlife, I was playing video games. I was constantly playing video games. I would just watch TV and play video games, and I would do my homework and stuff like that. I was just a normal kid. The moment I could, I got into skating, which was my favorite sport, and got into that kind of it actually, and I really enjoyed it. I would come out of it because it was really expensive. Like each pair of skates was like $300, and you needed a pair of skates for figures, freestyle, and dance. It's like $900 for the skates, and then they would introduce you to these great new wheels that would be able to work better, and it's just really expensive. So I would come out of it and go back in. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed my sports a lot. Quite a great deal actually. Um, and still, I would be going. I was studying birds most of the time. Mockingbirds and cardinals, and like dietary behaviors and whatnot, and studying like lizards and different species, and snakes and quail and stuff like that. It was really great way for a kid to grow up. Not really an intellectual household, but very much so, a very curious one. Um, let's see. Yeah, they started up a bakery. They worked really hard. They would be there at 6 o'clock in the morning, and sometimes wouldn't get out till 6 o'clock at night. It was a couple of like a little over a decade's worth of work. A lot of hard work. We all pitched in. We all worked together, and it was a really great introduction into a strong work ethic. Um, yeah, we didn't. There's no dope here, so there's really no time and no money. in no time mostly, and it wasn't that interesting. Most of these people here in the neighborhood were heavily into narcotics by the time we had our bakery. And it's just, where the hell you want that stuff, you know? Yeah, and there, first moment I remember like getting my first car. I was really excited about doing that. I would stuff as many people as I could in it, and like being nice to people constantly, as best as I could. Um, yeah, really, really odd society here in regards to support. Not much of that going on. I was heavily into religion because they offered they offered weekends at the retreats, and you always had always religious meetings and whatnot with Catholicism. My dad was a bit of a metaphysician for quite a long time. I kind of got involved in that in my teens. Um, I was pretty good at it actually. Um, I started teaching a little bit, and I kind of broke off. Yeah, been drinking too much Pepsi, if you're wondering. That was really, really good times here. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I really enjoyed like going to college. That was great. College was fun. College was short. Really didn't need much. Went to work from there, and worked as hard as I could. And apparently, America had other plans. I remember like we would go for images on television and whatnot. That was pretty depressing. I wasn't too crazy about that. Really actually frightening. I didn't think we would be doing stuff like that, or that would be happening to us later on. Never think about the retaliation. We always, you see something on TV, you don't realize it's back. It's coming for you, like big time. I ended up going to a private school, so it's pretty. You wouldn't call it sheltered. I mean, most people would call it a crap sheltered. It's not really that sheltered. It's just a more thorough education. We didn't have a drama department and stuff like that. We did have a music department though, oddly enough. Lots of athletics. Yeah, I was kind of an introvert, and I would do some really, really awesome athletic stuff, and nobody really was like, this is just a weirdo. I should have probably gotten more into high school sports, but I didn't fit in too well. I was happier as a wallflower in writing, believe it or not. Yeah. It was usually poetry. That's what call it in high school. Had a couple of awards for art. Well, now that I'm summing it up this way. It's always an adventurous type. Always a curious type. Too a little too curious sometimes. I do remember like my first computer. I ended up crashing it like 26 times. I would actually crash to see if I could get it to uncrash. I always ended up calling the poor guy who ended up building it for me. I thought he was kind of cute, so maybe in a way I was crashing the computer to catch an eyeful of the guy who repaired the computers. And that's about it. Windows 3.1 was the worst operating system ever put on a desk. Terrible. Yeah, during that time, everybody here is, getting high and getting drunk and whatnot, and plotting everybody's demise from the looks of it, and making allies. I remember, like, my neighbors would teach me how to get on a BBS, yeah, it was just briefly in passing. Oh yeah, you can do this stuff, you can dial with your computer and get on a BBS. Oh, that's great. I'll do that later. and do other stuff. I hang out with my friends. And I did. I hung out with my friends a lot. Yeah, and I went, finished college, got into filmmaking for a while, got out of that, and then went to New York. Where's the name of that? Getting dug myself out of that place. And got into the military and got injured, and yeah, it's about the thick of it, pretty much. Family's pretty tame for the most part. Teaching each other to love each other, teaching each other to stay within your own boundaries, and at the same time to breach those boundaries. My father would always tell me to never live in fear. Fear was a killer, that you cannot live in fear. And he would always say to love each other, that fear was evil. And the way it was. Fear is extremely evil. In our reality of this massive wave of this type of technology, fear is a killer in a broader scale, in a broader range for a lot of people. You will be controlled by your enemy if you live in fear. You will be every aspect of your life will be harnessed by your enemy when you live in fear. It will happen as well if you don't, but the percentage of which they are able to utilize is reduced by your own personal activities. Running around saying kill people is illegal, and I think it's ludicrous and insane that you do that, like big time. I've never seen anything so stupid in my entire life. You'd have to be a complete moron to be doing that crap. Some sort of serious psychiatric or mental retardation. It is also illegal to intimidate or coerce a population for political gain, or threaten to kill the population or any members of the population in order to gain political position, such as was attempted by the President of the United States. In fact, the man's been saying kill. And you're generalizing, you need to specify. It is illegal by the Constitution of the United States, as well as it is extremely demoralizing to the civilian population of the United States. Any attempt to intimidate or coerce is punishable by incarceration. Even for a minor politician, this was put into effect quite a long time ago, actually. You can't do that at all. In regards to the people here, the guerrilla terrorists, they're cops, we are unarmed and unable to defend ourselves against these people, and they are not Americans. In fact, I'm pretty darn sure they are both Middle Eastern and South American, as in I am damn sure that they are Middle Eastern and South American. Somebody once told me, they criticized me for some statements I made about a specific soda company. They're like, "Oh, why in the hell would you say that? Why would you do that?" Oddly enough, it was interesting for me to know, once I went to NAS Pensacola and NATTC and just received the treatment there. I'd like to inform you that that particular soda company bottling plant is actually located right next to that military base. So, it was actually quite a shock to find that out. Yeah, sorry. trying not to be jammy, but I should be. Trying to get comfortable here. My arms hurt. My butt hurts. And what else? Yeah, it was heavily in art. Didn't sell much because I was really busy just trying to keep a job. The American thing, then you apply for a job and you get it and you go. Not the case though. This place was already being engineered against women, oddly enough, except those who served Aryan nations. They were not. That's been going on for a while. But if it is the case that you've got an insurrection, minor one in the White House as well as the southern border with South America, and these people, which you are already seeing as your police officers, and you are already seeing as some of your government officials, the man's an asshole, right? The president is an a-hole. But he's not supposed to be held at gunpoint by a foreign government either. And I'm not too crazy about the vice president at all. We have lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of South Americans here, and they speak perfectly clean, clear, concise, accented English. That British English, flat out English. And they are not Americans. These people all filter through the South, and once they achieve police positions, it's very easy for them to bring their own people in. With my webpage, there, my own digs, a couple of weeks ago, not even 2 weeks ago, I told the population, not even a week ago, told the population of Orlando and the southern regions of the United States to stop doing drugs altogether for a month. I asked for a month. And as payment, they stole my hard drives, they froze my account, and they've been attacking us pretty violently in the past few days, including the police, because the police head up these groups. They are the leaders of these groups. They stole all of my personal information, and nobody has stepped up to the plate at all to assist us. To assist me. Which means you are behind the drug trade 100%. You are also behind the attack on the United States 100%. Anyway, yeah, that would be everything I can think of for now. I'm tired. Working all day. That's all I have to say to you. Good luck, my fellow frickin' Americans. Stay alive, stay alert. I did work at a place here that was making tanks, so be advised. And some of these people do have positive ion cannons, so watch it with that stuff. So just air out your house, And the president will arm us. That would be great. Because we kind of need to be armed, sir, not you blathering out a stream of obscenity and insanity. It doesn't help. And you are an a-hole.